This is the Asus RG take on the GTX 1070. With Aura RGB lighting, a beefy cooler, and easy overclockability, this card aims to be the best GTX 1070 there is. I've used this card for about 6 months now. Is it still worth it? This is the latest installment of the NVIDIA series to take the 70 name. The 70 series is usually priced to performance, while also being meant for AAA titles. Let's jump right into it. The Asus Strix GTX 1070 OC has 1920 CUDA cores, clocked at 1632 MHz base and 1835 MHz boost in gaming mode, and 1657 MHz base and 1860 MHz boost in OC mode. I'll go over the two modes later. Because the GPU Boost 3.0, the 1070 can boost itself to over 2000 MHz. The 1070 has 8 gigs of GDDR5 RAM, not the 8 gigs of GDDR5X RAM the 1080 has. The 8 gigs of VRAM on our 1070 is clocked at 8008 MHz. Just to shorten the name, I will call the Asus Strix GTX 1070 OC the ASG 1070 OC. The ports on the ASG 1070 are as follows: 1 DVI-D, 2 HDMI, and 2 display ports. This card is pretty big at 11.73 by 5.28 inches. Although it fits in the Corsair Carbide Spec Alpha case, not all cases will fit it. If you're going to get this card, you should make sure the case you have will support a graphics card of this size. Like a micro ATX case may not support it, and I don't think a mini ATX case will. But who knows? I might be wrong, but I also might be right. In terms of design, this card aims to look more aggressive than the others. You've got the video ports and the SLI fingers. You've got Asus written all over this thing. And on the back, there's an ROG logo sitting big, loud, and proud. I personally like the looks of this graphics card. A nice addition is on the side where there are 2 fan headers that can be used to control some case fans in relation to your GPU's temperature. So if you have, let's say you have this one fan and you have it dedicated to cooling down the GPU, you can plug that into the GPU, and the hotter the graphics card is, the faster that fan will be. The Aura software is pretty easy to use with a couple of additional functions. I wish you could control each of the 4 LEDs separately, but that's just me. This card should suit many people wishing not to break the bank, but also get very decent performance at ultra settings in a game like Battlefield 1 and GTA 5. Now to explain what the gaming and OC settings I mentioned earlier are. There are 2 different overclock modes, with the OC mode having a slightly higher base clock and boost clock than the gaming mode. I don't think there's any noticeable frame rate difference. The gaming mode is enabled by default. Now onto the benchmarks. For Unigine Valley on the high preset, I don't have any other graphics cards to compare this to, as it would be unfair to compare 1050p scores to 1080p scores, so here's what the 1070 got at downscale to 1050p. Note that I did set the settings at Ultra, as you can see on screen, and set it to 1440. So I don't know if it rendered at 1440 and downscaled to 1050, or just rendered at 1050. Anyways, here's the benchmark. As you can see, the 1070 did pretty well with not reaching above 62 degrees Celsius. It had a minimum of 37.4 FPS, an average of 95.7 FPS, and a max of 168.5 FPS. For our next benchmark, we will be using Cinebench R15 for this. Alright, so now that's done. For the OpenGL score, the 1070 got 130.26 FPS. Benchmarks don't actually show the true power of something, so let's benchmark some games. We'll be using Battlefield 1, And that's it. That's it. Fraps won't work on Minecraft because seeing way high, it was seeing way lower frames than I was seeing. Like, it only measured 500 and I was seeing in the 2000s. And Steam is not working for me because it won't let me open any games like Dirty Bomb and Metro Last Light Redux. So yeah. So here we go with Battlefield 1 in ultra settings and 200% render on multiplayer.
The US Army's attack along the River Meuse would be the first time most of these so-called doughboys had witnessed real combat.
Tomorrow we'll be going over the top, finally up against the Hun. So far it's felt too much like a holiday.
You seen the machine guns they got? The artillery? The planes? Damn it, odds of us getting through this campaign gotta be about 25 to 1 against.
Them devils ain't so tough. Us boys will knock out their fortifications easy.
Break this Hindenburg line and finish this war. French been fighting for 4 years. They say just 4 minutes up against these fortified German lines and we look just like them. Yeah, like an army of living dead.
We have taken.
Half of our forces remain. We have taken objective butter.
That's soldiering, men!
We are losing objective butter.
As you can see, the minimum frame rate for Battlefield 1 was 38 FPS, and the average was 55.926 FPS, and the max was 82 FPS. I've seen FPS in the high 100s on previous times checked my frame rate, but this is what I recorded. If you want to game with high frame rates at both 1080p and 1440p, without spending enough money to be able to buy a whole nother gaming computer, this 1070 is for you. With its aggressive design, and beautiful LEDs, powerful cooler, an overclocked memory and overclocked GPU, this card aims to be the best of the 1070 bunch. A link will be in the description to the ASG 1070 OC's website, where you can find a place to purchase it. Even after 6 months, this card still kicks as much butt as it did when I first got it. Yes, I know it isn't the most detailed of reviews, but I have no other GPU to compare this to, and only one computer I can use, so I'm limited to what I can do. And again, everything except for Battlefield 1 was being a butt. If you like this review, please like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, have a good day. P.S. When I get more graphics cards, I'll most likely do another review.